guys, these look like maybe some boob implants, but why are some like all wrinkly? Old people have boobs too? Actually, that's a good point. Maybe these are like, you know, old people boobs that are a little bit wrinkly. Hey guys.
Desh here, and today we're discussing 10 things we need added to Cyberpunk 2077. Alright, speaking solely from my own experience, I find Cyberpunk 2077 to be a fantastic game. No, it isn't perfect, and yes, it has its fair share of bugs. But playing on PC and having little to no issues myself, I find it to be extremely engaging, absolutely immersive, and addictingly fun. Of course, it's always fun to come up with ideas to make our favorite games better. So here are the 10 things I want to see added to Cyberpunk 2077. Alright, I think I know what most of you are thinking, and yeah, flying vehicles would be freaking awesome. Unfortunately, I think in its current state, something like that would break the game. However, I would love to see it added to DLC, or perhaps it's something the devs are already working on for multiplayer, which, by the way, I cannot wait for. But for now, wouldn't it be awesome if you could upgrade and customize your vehicle in Cyberpunk when it comes to both cosmetics and performance? Perhaps a skill tree just for vehicles, where you can invest points to spec into speed or traction. Or what if there was an NPC you could visit similar to a Ripper Dock, except it was a shop where you could pay to upgrade your vehicle, like increased durability or damage resist, or your ability to accelerate faster or turn tighter? And what if at the shop you could also customize your paint job, adding stickers or decals, hood ornaments? You could change the interior, the head and tail lights color, or the tires and rims, or even make it lifted if you want. Am I right, anyone? So I know we have a costume slot and all, but to be honest, so far I find the costume I've acquired in-game to be a little disappointing. If you've seen my live streams or you've been following me on YouTube for a while, you know I'm a sucker for fashion per second in any game. And I think when it comes to customizing our character, we want as many options as possible. Not only is it fun to change your lookup and your FPS, but I think it gives us even more of an immersive experience when you have freedom to make your character your own. A transmog system in Cyberpunk where you could collect recipes or motifs or transmogs to change the look of your gear without having to lose on armor or unlock the necessary passives if you aren't big on crafting would be awesome to have as an option. If you simply want to change your hair color, hairstyle, or piercings, etc. Maybe when you're at your apartment in front of the mirror, or perhaps a hairdresser NPC. I'd also love the option to hide pieces like your helm or jacket. Say you love this top you're wearing, but you can never see it under your jacket. Or how a hat causes your hair to clip or hides it altogether. Or what if at an arms dealer, for example, you could apply skins to your guns and weapons like you could in Borderlands 3. Say you help out the Tiger Claws and unlock some cool skin for your armor or gear to match their aesthetic. I mean, come on! Speaking of customizations, I know we have a ton of options when it comes to character creation. I mean, from eyes to certain parts. With the variety and the amounts of options we get, it's pretty hard to complain. However, because there are so many unique options, I'm surprised some basic ones like the ability to customize your body type, weight, and height are missing. And this is a small thing, but something I would definitely love to see added in the game. We touched on this a moment ago, but for those not interested in crafting or don't want to spec their attribute points into technical ability, it would be cool if there was an option of NPCs craft items for you. In The Witcher 3, there was a system with blacksmiths and NPCs with different skill levels that you could pay to craft for you, as long as you had the money, components, and recipe. It would be awesome if Cyberpunk had something similar where certain NPCs could craft different gear or weapons as long as you had the eddies and necessary items. I could actually see this being an awesome feature in multiplayer, where you could choose a job or skill to master like in WoW, and crafting could be someone's expertise, where you go to that person to craft for you. By the way, I know I've said this like 20 times already, but seriously, Cyberpunk multiplayer win, because I'm ready. On the subject of crafting, if you're familiar with how it works in Cyberpunk 2077, in order to craft an iconic weapon or piece of armor, you not only need the recipe and the components, but you also have to have the original iconic to craft it again. This can be quite a pain if you're hooked on crafting iconic weapons and you're crawling through the game because you're carrying too much and your inventory is overflowing with iconic weapons and gear. Are you a hoarder? It'd be awesome if once you picked up an iconic weapon or equipped it once, it was added to your collections and you could scrap the item and still craft it later on. I think an improved crafting system would be a great tool and an overall better player experience.
Also, you know what else would be great? Decon all
sell button, so you didn't have to manually deconstruct one thing after the other or manually sell one thing after the other when at a sell point.
Don't you just hate it when you're over encumbered and you rush to free up space and realize you just accidentally dismantled an iconic weapon? Now, I know with items you have equipped, this isn't an issue, but as we mentioned earlier, what if you're holding on to iconic weapons for crafting? Or perhaps some are worth a lot and you want to sell them later on. And I know we have our stash and all, but what if sometimes you just like to swap out between two different types of sniper rifles, depending on the mission you're doing, and you don't want both equipped at once because you want a shotgun on hand for close range attacks, but you want the other one on you. By the way, in addition to locking items you want to keep, there are also many items you may not want to keep. Say, some of Johnny's items you may acquire that don't fit your aesthetic, yet you can't stash, sell, or dismantle them, and they're taking up space. Again, it's hard to complain when this game has so many options. But as always, we want more! I would love to see even more interactable items in-game, like how you can change the TV in a house or the radio station at a boombox or in a vehicle. What if in the arcade you could play a mini-game like you could in Borderlands 3 and get the chance at some eddies or some cool loot? Or what if at a clothing store you could actually walk into the dressing room and try on your clothes in front of the mirror for a more immersive experience, and getting to preview it on your character before you blow all your eddies on it and realize,
that outfit sucks ass.
you know, a try before you buy kind of thing, versus just viewing it in your inventory after you purchase it. I love the music in Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm streaming it, so I'm even playing with only the copyright-free music on, and missing out on awesome artists like Grimes. But the music during the cutscenes and the story missions really sets the tone and feel of the moment, as does the intense combat music during fights. But it would be awesome to have an option to turn on ambient music whenever you're just out in the world exploring. I love being able to change the radio in my vehicle, but I think it would be great if they added an option for ongoing background music that you could be playing whenever you're just messing around in-game and not necessarily in battle or in a main story mission. I touched on this in a few items earlier when we talked about having a car mechanic or body shop where you could customize vehicles, or a crafting NPC that could craft for you. I think additional NPCs you could interact with, like a hairdresser or tattoo artist, would be super cool. What if you could also go to a tattoo artist NPC and pay to get a tattoo in the style color you wanted? Say a gang or brand logo, or even Jackie's face.
Imagine the feels, guys.
Or a salon where you could change your nail color or get hair extensions, or imagine if there was a place to even get plastic surgery. Can you tell I really want that RP experience? Which brings me to the last and final item on the list. What if after completing a quest, you could choose between a sticker or a tattoo as a quest reward? You could add the sticker to your vehicle or apply the tattoo at the tattoo artist NPC we talked about. I know you could do a lot with screenshots in this game, but wouldn't it be even cooler if you could add things like this to your character or vehicle? Or maybe you could earn a poster to hang in your apartment. Speaking of, I feel like we should be able to display all our vinyl records we've been hoarding. I mean, I'm just saying. Or what if you got Pan Am's or Jackie's hairstyle added to your collections after completing the heist or the ghost town quests? Or maybe you got Judy's tats after completing the information quest. Imagine.
Potential spoiler alert, by the way.
There are already, of course, some unique quest rewards. Earlier I mentioned the Overwatch gun you can get after completing Riders on the Storm, or how you get Jackie's bike after the Heroes quest, or Johnny's gear as you progress in the story that you may or may not want to hold on to. By the way, if you need help getting some of these items, be sure to check out my top 5 must-haves in Cyberpunk 2077 video. I'll link it in the description below. Overall, I think even more costumes or additional quest rewards you could earn or unlock unique to that particular mission would be an awesome addition to the game. And one last bonus idea. What if Cyberpunk 2077 had seasonal events? Not only would this prolong the life of the game because it gives you a reason to keep coming back, but themed events with unique missions that could unlock new cosmetics or drop special loot would be insanely cool. I think this would be so awesome and a great way to keep the community engaged while keeping the content fresh and new. But what I really want to know is, what do you guys think? Did you agree with any of the ones I mentioned? Did you think of one I missed? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell for more Cyberpunk 2077. As always, written guides linked in the description below. Be sure to follow me on Twitch where I RP my character at twitch.tv/deshplease. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.